Hello everybody, John Critwell back here again with another video, and today I bring you another Arrow Season 3 review. Yes, it's that time of the night, time of the week again, and I'm here to give you my review of Arrow Season 3 Episode 11 titled Midnight City. Yeah, if you have not seen tonight's episode, this review may contain spoilers, so definitely go check out tonight's episode so you can come back over here and we can talk about what happened tonight. So anyways, pretty much last week's episode pretty much ended everything to deal with Team Arrow. Obviously, Felicity's out of the gang. Diggle and Arsenal are kind of scrambling as to what to do with Brick, and Brick, played by Vinnie Jones, is obviously corrupted Starling City. He is pretty much taking care of the whole criminal underground, while, Oliver's, slash Arrow is out of the gang, and pretty much all hell has been breaking loose. But there has been some humongous, amazing content that happened in between what happened last week's episode and tonight, which is, of course, Laurel donning the mantle of Black Canary. Now, I know a lot of people have their mixed feelings with Laurel becoming the new Black Canary. I mean, obviously everyone loves Sarah. I mean, she's pretty much been, one of the biggest... And you know what? Personally, I really loved Sarah as Black Canary. She's definitely one of the many things that I loved about Season 2. And it was definitely one of the biggest and saddest things that they could have done in the season. But it was inevitable because Laurel, of course, is the comic book version of Black Canary, and she obviously needs to become Black Canary. But I never really gave my thoughts on the design and costume of the new Black Canary suit, so I'm pretty much just going to give you my overall thoughts right now, seeing as I'm pretty sure everyone has seen it by now, not only through the promotional images online, but of course through last week's and tonight's episode. So let's get right into it. First off, I have no problem with it. I think it's really cool. It's definitely a nice redesign of the prior episode because, well, not the prior episode, but the prior version of the suit. I think it definitely kind of resembles Arsenal's suit when it has all the straps and the belts and the buckles and all that stuff. I thought it's definitely a good redesign. So I really have no fault with it. I actually think it's a lot cooler than Sarah's suit. But overall, my main problem with the whole Sarah thing and Laurel thing I'll get into later in this episode review, but overall I have no problem with the new suit. Of course it doesn't beat the classic comic book version of Black Canary, but of course the TV show wasn't going to go that route. That's obviously that wouldn't work in the Arrow universe, so I can see why they would not go that route with Laurel, but overall I think the new suits definitely suffice. Anyways, pretty much it opens up with the new Black Canary in action. Laurel obviously is, coming terms with her inability to actually take on the mantle of Black Canary, and obviously everyone else has their own personal problem with it. Diggle and Arsenal and Felicity obviously think it's a bad idea that she takes on the criminal underground with as Black Canary, and on top of that we have some interesting subplots with Oliver and the flashbacks, obviously, and we got word that in this episode, or at least during the episodes before Oliver coming back, that we would have some interesting nightmare scenes with Oliver, and I really like that piece of content that they were able to put in this episode, because it was just really interesting to see what Oliver really fears and what he really thinks inside of his head. So it's really nice to get that. I just loved how it was shot, because it was a real big 180, because at first I was like, oh, this is a terrible way to open up the scene, the overall episode. It's like a recap of what happened on the mid-season finale. It's like, we already saw this. I don't want to see this. Oliver, Felicity's like, oh, don't go, but he has to go, bullshit. But then the second he, changes it, and he's like, okay, I'll stay because I love you, Felicity. And then shit goes down. I'm like, oh, this is the nightmare scene. So it was really nice to get that. And overall, I thought it was very, very nicely photographed and shot. I hope we get some more Oliver nightmare scenes, but I'm guessing that was pretty much the only one that we'll get. But overall, it was really nice. And of course, we get the Black Canary scene, and majority of her scenes were pretty decent. I will admit that I have my own mixed feelings and problems with Laurel taking on the mantle of Black Canary, but overall I think she did pretty nice with her action scenes. We already know that the actress who's obviously playing Laurel has been, obviously working her ass off to get a good superheroine physique. So it makes sense that she would have some awesome action sequences, but it's also really good to point out that she still has yet to proven herself on the field. There's spoilers if you've not seen it, but there's multiple occasions throughout this episode where you get to see Laurel in action, but still getting her ass whooped. She's still still trying to find her groove. She's still trying to master her surroundings. She's not at the same level that Oliver or Arsenal are at. So she's definitely going to need some push from her trainer, which we still have yet to see. Like Wildcat, obviously we haven't seen him in a while, and there that has its own set of problems. But I'm hoping that if she's going to continue playing Black Canary, she obviously needs to have much more training. And I'm guessing once Oliver comes back to Starling, then maybe he'll be the new trainer, if you will. So I guess we're going to have to wait and see on that front. But overall, I think her action sequences were good. Hell, even Arsenal's, and I know I've been bashing Roy's flips and excessive, his excessive flips have been hysterical nonetheless, but overall I think his overall action sequences were pretty badass. I'm just saying, like, the whole Arsenal Black Canary team up, I really liked. That was probably like one of the biggest things that I really enjoyed over the course of this episode. Like, they team up on multiple occasions in this episode to take on Bricks and his attempt to obviously take over the Glades. And they're obviously unsuccessful in defeating Bricks in this episode, which will obviously lead up to next week's episode. But overall, I think the action sequences were very well done. I think Laurel, even though she's still not a master crime fighter / vigilante, it's still good to see that she's getting a foot in. And we also get to see Ray Palmer get a little action sequence there. Yes, this week we get our first ever Ray Palmer action scene, and it's definitely not really that great. Brandon Routh, I think, did a pretty decent job in tonight's episode. He wasn't amazing. He wasn't really like the scene stealer, but I still enjoy watching Brandon Routh, mess around as Ray Palmer. And we all know that the possibility of Brandon Routh becoming the Atom and having his own spin-off TV series is pretty much somewhere around the horizon. So I guess it's good that they, sped up the time limit with him trying to become the next big Starling City vigilante, if you will. So I guess we're going to have to wait and see what happens on that front. But overall, I think it was enjoyable to see what Brandon Routh does. And on top of that, the Felicity thing, I really don't know. I mean, Felicity, she kicks it back. She kicks back and she's not really dealing with the whole Team Arrow thing anymore, and she kind of quits and she doesn't want to help Ray Palmer on his suicide mission, as she puts it. But overall, I don't know. Arrow writers love writing crying women, and I don't like it. I know I mentioned it a lot in my Arrow reviews, especially over the course of this season, but I'm just saying, people, I don't enjoy sitting down and watching women cry. It's just not my thing. Maybe other people like it. Maybe the Arrow writers like it a lot. But for me personally, when Felicity's on screen and she's all crying and Laurel is crying and what's next? Is Roy gonna cry? I don't know. It's just bothering me, and I get that they're sad. They're grieving and they don't know what to do, and they need leadership and like a good force to get their head out of their asses. I understand that because, the whole Oliver being gone thing. But at the same time, I just don't think it's healthy to have Felicity crying in every episode. And I'm pretty sure none of you think so. So let me know in the comment section below. But for me personally, if I see Felicity cry one more time, I'm going to do something drastic. I don't know what it is yet, but I'm going to do something. But anyways, besides that, Ray Palmer teams up with Diggle and well, not really Diggle, but the overall police force to try and save the city with the mayor and obviously Detective Lance's police force to try and stop Bricks, who's trying to take over the Glades. And I love Vinnie Jones's performance as Bricks. I think he's just a real badass villain, and I'm surprised that we've got to see him this long. I thought when he was first going to show up, I thought he would have been taken down by last week's episode, but I guess they're trying to do like a whole 3-parter episode with his character. But from the looks of next week's episode, I'm guessing that it's gonna definitely go down. Shit's gonna go down. So on like season 2, like Mirakuru style. So I'm definitely looking forward to next week's episode. But overall, Vinnie Jones's character as Bricks, he's back again as the main villain, and I think he did a badass job. He's just killing it. Vinnie Jones, I like him as an actor. He's a badass. And is he a metahuman? Let me know in the comments section below. Do you think Vinnie Jones's character is a metahuman? And pretty much the overall episode ends with Oliver trying to, convince Masao to return with him. And also Katana to Starling City. Obviously, Katana saved Oliver's life, and Oliver's trying to heal himself back to normal, to 100%, so he can return to Starling City. But Masao plans on going back to the League of Assassins. Why? I really don't know. And we learn over the course of time in this episode that Masao is still working with the League of Assassins. Spoilers. He's still working with the League of Assassins, but that dude, the douchebag, who Thea is somewhat dating or making out with, I don't know what the fuck, he's actually a part of the League of Assassins. How? I don't know. He doesn't look any way near formidable, but I don't know. It's Arrow. They fucking have characters like Colton Hayes and Thea, that chick who plays Thea, as fighting characters, which doesn't make sense to me. But overall, that guy is apparently a part of the League of Assassins. And I guess Ra's al Ghul is, I guess, using him to get to Thea, so that when he comes to Starling City to take down Malcolm, he'll be there, so they can just take over the city, take down Malcolm, kill him, possibly kill Thea as well. So it's a whole debacle. It's really interesting where, it kind of gives you just a good footnote, a clip note, as to where the season's going. Obviously, we have to finish the whole Bricks / the Glades storyline, but of course, as we all know, we have the return of Oliver, and not to mention the end game with the League of Assassins, because we all know League of Assassins will be returning, and whether or not, Oliver's going to go over there, or, League of Assassins is going to go back to Starling City. I don't know which way it's going to go. I don't know how the overall finale is going to go down, but I'm pretty sure it's definitely going to be epic, and it's definitely going to contain, obviously, Team Arrow versus League of Assassins. I'm pretty sure. I'm possibly wrong, but let me know what you think in the comment section below. But overall, I think tonight's episode was pretty decent. It was pretty good. The action was great. Vinnie Jones was good. Laurel as the Canary. I'm still not 100% on it, but I think she did an okay job. Felicity coming back to Team Arrow was good. Arsenal, Roy kicking ass was always a pleasure. The flashbacks, interesting. I still don't understand how, Masao and Katana are not together anymore. I don't know. It's definitely a plot device that needs to be used, but I just don't understand why they're using it, and why aren't they together? I don't know. It's a huge debacle. The flashbacks, I keep saying this every episode review, but the flashbacks don't make sense to me. They haven't, over the course of this entire season, the Hong Kong flashbacks have not made any sense to me, and maybe that's, their fault, my fault, I don't know, but I don't know. It's just, tonight's flashback, it didn't make any sense. But overall, Oliver, he's still alive. He's obviously going to come back to Starling City, most likely next week, obviously, so I can't wait to see that. So overall, I give this episode a good 7.5, maybe even a good 8 out of 10. So that's pretty much my rating, and let me know what you personally think in the comment section below. But some things I really didn't like. First off, Laurel still pretending that Sarah is alive to her father. That's fucked up. I'm not, spoilers if you've not seen it, but there's various scenes where Sarah is back. Wink, wink. Yeah, she's back. The actress is back. Only as a voice. Because apparently Felicity gives her some kind of device where she obviously speaks to her dad as Sarah, pretending to be the Canary. So, I don't know, like, every time it happens twice in the episode. It happens twice, people. And when I see it, I feel like Batman, in a sense, where it's like, I don't know if anybody's seen Justly Doom. If you've not seen that movie, definitely check it out. It's an amazing animated movie. But there's a specific scene where the sun's rays are about to destroy the Earth, and Superman suggests that he should move the Earth so the rays just goes right past him. And basically, Batman calls him out on it as being a most ridiculous idea, and he should shut up, basically. And I kind of felt like that. I just felt like there are so many things wrong with what you're doing. I don't have enough time to explain it. So, like, it's just insane. Like, let me know in the comment section below how you felt about the whole Sarah allegedly being back, wink wink, and her still continuously lying to her father. That entire thing I did not like. Every time she did it, I was just like, I don't want to bring religion into this, but there's some, oh god, I'm just saying, I feel like Batman and Justly Doomed. There's not enough time to explain how wrong this is. It's just wrong on so many freaking levels. So wrong, but it's still a decent episode, and yeah, it's pretty fucked up. I'm not gonna lie. It was nice to hear the voice again. The actress who plays Sarah, I love her. She's fucking awesome, but it was just not right. It was not right. It was just really extraordinarily fucked up, and I wouldn't have gone that route. I would have liked to have seen the actual actress, at least, but, she's dead, so that's a whole nother scenario. But overall, I can't wait for next week's episode. It's definitely going to go down. Obviously, Bricks and the criminals of Starling City are going to try and take over the Glades. Oliver's going to come back. He's going to fucking take back the city, all Dark Knight Rises style or Dark Knight Returns style, and shit's going to go down. So I can't wait for next week's episode, but let me know in the comment section below what you thought about tonight's episode. I thought it was pretty decent. There was a few things I didn't like the whole, Laurel and Felicity crying scene, and Laurel lying to her dad, Detective Lance, and not to mention the whole Thea thing. I really didn't like that. I'm just saying, every time Thea's on screen in this episode, my balls hurt. So that speaks for itself. But nevertheless, tonight's episode was pretty decent. Can't wait for next week's episode. And this was my review of Midnight City. So let me know in the comment section below what you thought. Subscribe to my channel if you've not done so already. And be back next week for some Oliver / Arrow epicness. Hope you guys enjoyed. This has been John 12.